think this football team, coached by Barry Odom, is as hot a football team and as talented a football team as there is out there. Led by Drew Lock, who I believe is one of the best quarterbacks in this conference. Obviously, probably owns every record at Missouri now, closing in on SEC records as fast as games he can play. So, you're talking about a talented team, talented quarterback. He's got weapons in the backfield. He's got two running backs as good as any backs in this conference, and I think they're underrated when you look at his offensive line and physical. When you look at who they are outside, Emmanuel Hall made a difference last week, and obviously then their tight end went out. But I think they're talented across the board. I mean, they can make plays, explosive, exciting team to watch. So we definitely have a challenge. And when you look at in the defensive side of the ball, Buckner, Perez, you look at where they're at. I look at the numbers. I went through the numbers and I was looking. Adam Sparks has been tremendous. When you look at Cale Garrett, man, he's been outstanding. These guys are a good football team, and so defensively they're good. They're gonna present some issues. We played this team a year ago. They're very similar to the way they were a year ago. I think both teams are coming into it, with one-game winning streaks, and it's gonna be a good match. So I'm excited. Special teams gonna have to carry the day. Especially with us going on the road. We understand exactly what that is, but it's exciting. It's November, okay? I mean, it's winning time, and when both teams are blue-collar teams, like I said, Barry Odom is a tremendous coach, and I know his team's going to be physical and prepared, and that's what we have to be when we head up to Columbia. So, with that being said, I'll open it up for questions.
Sometimes late in the season, teams kind of just struggle and run out of gas. Some teams play their best at the end of the year. What do you think makes the difference of a team that's playing its best at the end of the year?
Really, it has to do with a combination of things. I think it has to do with health. I think it has to do with confidence. Maybe heading into ball games late October, early November, and then the other factor is really consistency. What has it been like for you in terms of production? And I think for us, one game. It doesn't make us consistent, but I think, what we learned about ourselves over the last, 5 weeks, it's gotten better. And I think what we need to continue to do is make sure that we're playing our best ball now. So, again, it's about how we practice. It's about how we function. Confidence is about intentional action and, repeatability. And I believe right now that's exactly where we are.
As you mentioned, November winning time, the goal trying to put enough wins together to become bowl eligible?
Yeah, I just want one win. Let's talk about that. I mean, this football team is not a football team that can talk about the next 3 weeks, man. We got to talk about today. That's exactly what I did with my football team when I addressed them. I talked about today. We've got to stack good days, together, and good practices and good meetings and all those things that it takes to make sure that you can get to Saturday and play your best ball then. So really, right now it's Tuesday, so I'm gonna be where my feet are in the Tuesday press conference.
You've got an Orrit safety with Ladarius. Is that a safe situation where he's maybe playing a little banged up?
He's played a little banged up. I mean, man, Ladarius, as most know, man, he had to fly back home. His father passed away on Friday, so man, Ladarius had to go home and spend time with his family. And so, with that being said, man, I know some people commented on social media and asked me about it, but really, when it's all said and done, our thoughts and prayers are with him, and he'll be back here soon.
Have you given him a day you want him back, or you told him come back when you're ready to come back?
This isn't about that. I mean, Ladarius Wiley's played more football than any player here. I mean, if that dude came back on Saturday, I'd be good. Like for me, it's about taking care of first things first. And he's got 6 siblings. He's got 6 brothers. He's one of 6. And so with that being said, like I said, our thoughts and prayers are with his family. And as soon as we heard, man, we put him on a plane back home, and he's been with his family since. Man, we talked every day, and I love that dude, and his team loves him. So with that being said, we'll take care of first things first.
Have you dealt with that before, with a player losing a parent in the middle of the season? Is there, I don't know, how do you do that? How do you know how to handle that?
I've dealt with it several times here. So, with that, as a football team, we're a family. So what we do is, we put our arms around one another. Man, we try to make sure, man, that we can, and spend time, talking about, needs, you know, trying to factor in exactly, you know, where we can fill in the gaps and make sure that we can do whatever we can for that person and their family, you know, and as soon as possible. But again, I mean, we understand, you know, crisis, and we've been here. This is not new, but I tell you what, I mean, it is great to see when family comes together, and that's what this thing is about. I mean, being part of a football team is just that. I mean, it's part of a fraternity that you can't buy your way into, and really when you step into that locker room and you understand, you know, what young men go through, I mean, when they encounter issues and problems, and it's about growing young men up. And so this young man's been here for a minute. He's grown up and he's handled everything the right way.
You certainly faced good quarterbacks this year. What makes Locke different than most?
You know, I think he's got some Brett Favre in him. I think he's got, you know, a little bit of Tom Brady. I mean, I think he can you know, create plays. You know, he can keep plays alive. You know, he can make the exciting throw. And you know, he's talented enough as a runner where that's not his primary. Remember, he can do it. And so with that being said, I think his passion for the game has always been there. He's always been a competitor. I think what he's been able to you know, really grow in is the ability to protect his team. And, you know, I think when you do that as a quarterback, you know, as witnessed by, you know, his numbers, when you talk about touchdown to interception ratio, I think he's truly, you know, under Coach Dooley, you know, figured out that the best part of what he can do doesn't have to do with just what he's doing. It's about, man, what he does collectively with his football team. And that's when you know you've taken a step as a leader. So I've got the utmost respect for Drew Lock. I think he's a competitor. He's fun to watch. And, you know, man, for me, it's been, as much as I hate it, it's been a pleasure to watch this dude play.
Your inside linebackers are not coming off the field much. Is that a case of those are the guys you want out there all the time? Is that you've got other guys behind them that are hurt? Or how do you evaluate that? And do you worry about wearing those guys out?
I don't. I mean, it's about those guys, you know, being hot. I mean, when you start to understand, because you played together for a minute, you know, how to communicate. Granted, we actually rotate in practice, and those guys get enough rest in practice. You know, game day is playing time. You know, when you watch games, I don't see a ton of rotation at the linebacker spot in college football. I think you put your guys on the field, you let them play, and you know, if they get tired, okay, you find a way to sub them, you know, when they need it. But these guys have played a lot of snaps, and I think to your point, right now, I think they're starting to play some of their best ball. I think, you know, Dimitri Moore played his best ball game last week, or the week before. I saw JG the last couple of weeks play some of his best ball. So I think now, in the month of November, is where you need your best guys playing their best ball. So excited to get these guys on the field and let them play.
2 years ago, you had this exact same schedule coming up in these exact same venues, getting 2 out of 3 for bowl eligibility. Is there kind of a similar feel to what's going on here, a similar vibe with the team than it was 2 years ago when we ended up getting 2 out of those 3 and going to Shreveport?
I know the same quarterbacks are at the helm. For me, man, it's 2018. You know, when you're in 2018, man, it's a different roster. You know, the numbers may speak to the same record as to where we were a couple years ago, but I think it's a different football team. I think Missouri's a different football team. I think we're a different football team. We understand what we've got to do heading up to Columbia. They want to keep their bowl hosting eligibility opportunities alive. For me, man, I just want one game. I told these guys, man, give me your feet are, man, we need one game. And so let's take it one game at a time, one day at a time.
When you've got a bye week like this late in the year,
Yeah.
is it only a benefit, or is there any worry of I've got to rev their engine back up, anything like that?
You know, I thought we did a really good job, you know, last week of really retracing steps of past bye weeks and looking at where we needed to be this year. I thought we were smart. You know, we came out on a Monday, you know, with a light workout, a nice Tuesday practice, a nice Wednesday practice, and then gave them Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. You know, to really, you know, gear up, lock in, heal, rest, get mentally refocused, and then come back on Sunday with a good practice. And I thought that's exactly what we got. I think this may have been the best bye week that we've had, because I thought, you know, man, we were intentional and thoughtful about, you know, what we needed to do with our guys. Pushed them hard early in the week, gave them, you know, some good rest time. They came back with a good functional Sunday practice, off on Monday, back at it on Tuesday, and like I said, man, we're in game mode, so here we go.
Zaire Jones not listed on the depth chart in
Yeah.
the secondary. Is that just kind of a depth thing? Is he dinged up? What's the situation?
You know, like Zaire will not be with us the remainder of the season. Obviously, you know, man, that's unfortunate, you know, for us. That we'll see Zaire in January, but I mean, he's been indefinitely suspended, violation of school, or student conduct policy. So with that being said, you know, I mean, it's unfortunate, but you know, that's where we are. Man, we got a good football team, we got good players, we're gonna continue to move forward.
But he's back in January.
He's back in January. Yeah.
What's the challenge with the open date last week of making sure you kind of pick up where you left off, hopefully on offense with Keyshawn running the ball as well as he did in that last game?
Oh, I think it's about, you know, getting your best players the ball. Now, you know, with that being said, you know, Keyshawn's not the only option. He's a great option to have. And I think, you know, right now he's starting to play some of his best ball, but I think our running back position as a whole, you know, when you look at the production coming out of the position, I think they're all playing well. And I think the complement of running backs and the complementary football that we're playing between, you know, our running backs, our tight ends, you know, and the wideouts has been exactly the formula that we need. I think he's been missing at times due to the simple fact that, you know, a key cog in the backfield or a guy at receiver's been missing. But I think as we've seen over the last, you know, in 4 weeks, the production, you know, at times has been really good when all those guys have been together. So I look forward to seeing the production on Saturday. Man, we are as healthy as we've been heading into this ball game, and you know, we know what we have to do, getting off to a fast start in Columbia, because that football team's a good football team, home or away.
So how important is it not to let this game turn into just a scoring contest, and how do you keep that from happening?
You know what? I don't know what this game's going to hold for us. You know, obviously, when you want to play great defense, great offense. I mean, this could be a 45-42 ball game. It could be a 14 ball game. I don't know. I know that we have to work on the things, you know, needed and necessary to play well on the road. And you know, with that, you know, offense, defense, and special team, they all have to show up. Show up. We have to play complementary football, and I believe, you know, and that's exactly what we're working towards.
One more question.
Do you have a preference on what kind of game you'd like to play? Would you like it higher scoring, or would you prefer a 40-something point shootout?
I don't care. I just want to win. I mean, you slice it up how you want to. You know, at the end of 60 minutes when the horn blows, I just want to be on the other side of a hard-fought victory. And you know, with that being said, man, you're facing a football team who's really good and who's got tools, and they're capable of beating you just like you're capable of beating them.
Make sure all your guys voted.
You know what? I told our guys, you know, today, after practice, I should have said it right after practice, but I told them as I was walking through the locker room, and Austin Orgy came up and he said, "Coach, I voted." I was like, "Man, congratulations." And I turned to the rest of the group. I was like, "Okay, how many of the other guys voted?" And there were some guys hemming it on. I was like, "Listen, it's a right. It's yours, man. Make sure, you utilize it." And most of those guys had, so, man, I'm proud of them.
Thank you very much.